So the whole Christian atheist discourse on the internet is melting down because of the conversion of one Ayaan Hirsi Ali, someone I had not heard of until this point, but she was apparently very prominent in the atheist movement and was supposed to be one of the four horsemen. I think that's an important fact. There was a club or something where the four horsemen were chosen. She was unable to make it, so another guy who is, in my opinion, just as obscure took her place, and she never made it into the club. But she's not an atheist anymore. She's claiming to be a Christian. And her essay, in which she explains why she is claiming to be a Christian, has seen a lot of scrutiny over the past couple of days. I will link that essay in the description. But really, her reasoning for becoming a Christian, for converting, is twofold in this essay. There are possibly more reasons that she didn't include it in the essay, but it's basically that Christianity is really good at unifying cultures, that the West was built on Christianity, and that we need Christianity to unite us against common enemies like China, Russia, and Islamism. Her second point is that she was fairly nihilistic in her atheist beliefs, and Christianity is an antidote to that. It helps prevent or protect from nihilistic thoughts. Now, my atheist friends are quick to point out that neither of those are particularly arguments about the truth of Christianity. Some will even go as far as to say she's not a Christian at all. She just kind of likes what Christianity does. Now, I'm certainly not going to speculate about her actual conversion and what her actual thoughts or actual feelings towards Christianity are. I'll take them at face value. But I do think that there is something to talk about regarding accepting Christianity because you sort of like what it does. In one sense, I think it makes a whole lot of sense. Plato is famous for saying people always choose what they think is best for them. No one chooses something intentionally that they think will harm them. Even people who make intentionally destructive decisions usually make those decisions because they believe that those decisions will be helpful to them in some way. Take a drug user. They think the pleasures of taking the drug will outweigh the negative consequences, or at least they don't care about the negative consequences that come later. So to say that she's choosing something that's good for her mental well-being is just to say that she's human. And if she's right, that Christianity is both good for us on a political level or a cultural level and on a personal level, well, that should give us reason to give it some credence. We should think about whether or not it is true. Not that those claims are particularly truth claims in themselves, but I think that they can be formulated into truth claims to an extent. Not the sort of empirical, syllogistic truth claims that an atheist might want, but in the trifecta of true, good, and beautiful, lots of times if something has one of them, then it's going to have the others. For instance, a lot of things that we find beautiful are true. A lot of truths are beautiful. And much of what is good and good for us tends to be both true and beautiful. As a Christian, I'm fairly uncomfortable with people accepting Christianity because it gets us out of some political trouble, particularly in this political climate where the divisions are very vast and where Christianity has become synonymous with right-wing politics. I don't have a lot of patience for people who accept Christianity just because it's politically expedient. And it may be true that Christian culture has the ability to take on the enemies of the West, but I don't think it has the ability to do that in the way that most people think. It's not a Christian nationalism sort of thing where we're just going to all band together and mow down our enemies in some kind of armed combat. But if Christian principles were applied politically, really applied, I think that we would have a much less hawkish government, and I think we'd be much less inclined to be going to war, which is a good thing. But back to the point of Ayaan Hirsi Ali. When I first thought to record this video, I wanted to tell the atheists to just let us have this one. There are plenty of Christians who deconvert, and, they can gloat all the time when that happens. But the more I looked into the nuance of it, I think we're going to have to wait a little while. One point that the atheist commenters have not really been pointing out in this essay is in the last paragraph. She writes, "Of course, I still have a great deal to learn about Christianity. I discover a little more at church each Sunday. But I have recognized in my own long journey through a wilderness of fear and self-doubt that there is a better way to manage the challenges of existence than either Islam or unbelief had to offer." And I think that that is a candid take at what she's thinking. She's a new Christian. She doesn't know a whole lot about the details of Christianity. And so we'll give her grace. She's going to church. She's being mentored by other Christians, older Christians. And we will see if it's just a political thing for her or if it's not. I think only time will tell.